Welcome back, everybody. Sorry for that slight delay. We were just waiting on a player to finish the update that happened right before we started this stream, but everyone is in. We are all set and ready to go for game number 2. And Ari, a little bit of change up here. Not only are we going to 3v3, but it's also tier 6. I know we were talking a little bit like, it's gonna be chaotic, and it's kind of what I'm hoping for.
Definitely interesting to see how this works out, because especially with champs are known to be very scattered with their mechanical selection. Some know how to double flip reset and then can barely even do a basic flick, and some can snipe the net from anywhere across the field, but then you give them a pass off the backboard and they don't know what to do. So very, very interesting here to see how this series will play out because of that. And going on the full example of why this will be a scrappy game, let alone a scrappy series, is the first goal of the series, which is an own goal.
Oh, a definite own goal there, and just a little bit of panic going on. There was nobody around to take that shot for Evolve Quartz, but unfortunately that first miss there on the front post by Akatsuki just lets it roll on into another player, and on in. Takes just 30 seconds to get that first goal, and it was a Musa indeed. We'll see how they're able to come back, and again, we talked about this a little bit at the start of the last series, is it doesn't matter how experienced you are in this game, in any league, game number 1 in playoffs just always hits a little different. Not nearly as bad as a championship series, but still, you have a little bit of nerves, you tighten up a little bit, you don't want to make the mistake, you don't want to be the person, the reason why your team's season is over, and game number 1 is all about getting out those nerves, and it's not the great start for Akatsuki, but I think if they're able to come right back, they get a goal here in the next minute or so, all will be right in the world, all nerves will be able to start really settling into their gameplay.
For sure, and maybe I was looking and hoping to see us, even though in Champs gameplay, looking back at super old pro gameplay from like 2016, it was still champ mechanics, but they were super they were still making questionable decisions too, but you didn't see many double commits like that coming out. They still played cohesively as a team. There was still trust, there was passes, they were leaving it for their teammates. And I don't expect pro-level type communication coming from these players, but I do maybe want to see utilization more of team play. To kind of use that to their full example. It takes thousands of hours to train mechanics, but it can really only take one to train good communication. And I just want to see how each team kind of plays off of each other, especially in 3v3 scenario. If we see any team plays, if we see any kind of strategies come out from these teams.
And one thing that I'm kind of surprised I haven't seen thus far is going for any physicality, going for any bumps, any demos. It looked like Gigagusi was trying to go for a little bit there, cause a little chaos in front of the net. This ball going off of the back wall doesn't connect to anyone, will be able to get it back towards mid, just kind of fires it towards the net. We're seeing that a little bit from these squads, just throw it towards the net and see what happens. This one by Z7, Roy is going to go off the ceiling, off the back wall, and has the read to get it over Gamer to be able to get the second goal of the game. Just an awkward place. I think Gamer was expecting a waterfall to come down, and just a little pop there before it hits that top corner finds its way on out far enough for Evolve Quartz to get goal number 2.
And you kind of see what you were saying, kind of chucking at the net, seeing what happens, taking full advantage of the open backboard, and all you really have to do is just get one little tap towards the down of the net, and just, Asuki, sorry, I butchered that. How do you say it?
Akatsuki.
Akatsuki, just not really able to handle the peppering of the net. Kind of looking like this is going to be a game where Akatsuki is going to die from a death of 1,000 cuts. As I say that, though, all it took was one offensive push to get this goal going here for Evolve.
Yeah, it's a nice little cut there by Goat, able to just sneak it by that near side post. And again, the open net, a little bit of overcommit coming out from Akatsuki. You know what, and again, I think a lot of that is still stemming from the very first goal. That own goal and trying to get themselves settled and weren't quite able to do it. And with the 3-goal deficit, 90 seconds left, they're definitely not out of it. It is more than possible to be able to come back to this game, but I think the biggest thing is just getting one goal. Finding the back of the net, seeing the ball go on in, and be able to break the ice as a nice save comes out by Zinc Goat again. They're coming in clutch on both ends of the pitch. That's going to bode so well for them, not only for game number 2, but also going forward for the rest of the series. And, you know, and one thing we haven't talked about, we said a player was still downloading it, and that's what we were waiting on the update. You got to wonder, did they have any warm-up time prior to that update, or are they coming in completely cold? As that could play a lot of, you know, let's just trying to get their hands warmed up, trying to get back into the feel of the game, not being able to play prior, you know, and maybe the other 2 players were doing some duos and the communication isn't quite there with the third.
Definitely, and that is definitely the Rocket League moment of all time. Not only just the crossbar, but just coming in cold. It is super duper dependent on who's on, who's off that day. I can speak from experience. Sometimes you can sweep a team, and then the very next day they can sweep you, and it looks like it's not even close. It's very Rocket League is definitely a game of who is on that day, and who isn't, and that's why consistency is so important in a game like this, especially with how fast-paced and short Rocket League games are. It is very crucial that you are on your game as often as you possibly can be, and Akatsuki not looking like their normal selves. I was about to say, I was going to give them the upper hand in the series. They only have one goal they only have one game series advantage in the regular season over Evolve, but their goal differential was noticeably higher. So it looked like that although they were winning their series not as much, that they were scoring, and when they were winning by a lot. So I was thinking maybe that put them over Evolve a little bit, at least made it closer, but Evolve just absolutely shutting Akatsuki out 3-0 here in game 1.
Right, and, you know, and then I was going back, I wasn't 100% sure of who the player was that was still downloading, and it was on the Evolved Quartz side, so coming in cold and being able to just get that thing rolling immediately, and Akatsuki just not able to quite figure it out. They are coming in again as that number 6 seed, so they do have that one series advantage at 4-2, but Evolved Quartz at 3-3. It's in a 6-game regular season, it's very difficult to have that real separation unless you're talking, you know, the top 3 versus the bottom 3 seeds. Everything else just kind of gets muddied up in the middle, so it's difficult to give one team an advantage just based off of that. But in game number 1, Akatsuki just did not look like themselves as that number 6 seed. Again, that own goal coming in, and then just being disjointed. We saw even an own goal, or sorry, an open net late in that game where it's in a 3v3, you fully expect someone to be back, and it's not like it was just a long goal. It was a challenge at midfield, and no one was home. I really want to see them get back into the rotations, start communicating a little bit better, and again, getting that first goal. So I thought that one was going to be it, but just didn't quite have the boost to get there.
And even if you have people posted up on the other side of the field on the other team's half, maybe expect just some annoyance coming out from that, as it looks like Evolved Quartz are just doing business as usual here in game 2, as they put another run away with what looks like very little effort on the offensive end, just kind of hitting it, and then just getting, like, no one on Akatsuki really putting up any sort of defensive effort there. It kind of just looked a little bit too easy.
Yeah, and be sure, ladies and gentlemen, make sure that, oh, what a save. That was not a goal steal by Zinc Goat. That was a goal secure. Be sure to use the correct S word around here. That was a fantastic goal secure. Always secure your goals, ladies and gentlemen. But, you know, as
I have my team can't be when we're playing series. Someone steals a goal, I'm like, I'd rather have you steal the goal and it go in than you leave it and some miracle save happens on the goal line because he didn't do it. But definitely, yeah, especially for Akatsuki, my bad. It's just, like you said, they don't look like their usual selves. This game, oh no, I have amazing caster luck. It's not a curse at all. Things go according to plan, as I say them every single time. As I was about to praise them, kind of, you know, looking a little bit more solid here in game 2. That's a just awkward overcommit, and it leaves a wide open net that really shouldn't have happened.
Yeah, and you know, it feels bad for Akatsuki. Again, they've had a couple of opportunities and just some great saves coming through. The defense by Evolved Quartz has been on point, as well as being able to convert on that offensive side. You know, we saw last series, if y'all were around for last series, how it can get incredibly volatile. Yes, it was PB2, but when the goals start flowing, they just continue to go back and forth. And we're not really seeing that here, as Evolved Quartz do have that strong defense to back them up and get that transitional play really set up for themselves. Get a pass going, get it off the back wall, go for some bumps, get the front of the net, and just like hockey, muddy it up, block the view, get in someone's way, and make it an easier shot. And that's really what Quartz has been able to. Their shots have not been terribly difficult, as Akatsuki Daisuke able to get that one in, as again, just muddy it up. Look at the bump in the midfield and a nice shot before getting demoed.
Definitely some life. You're finally taking off at Seal, which I was about to say that they haven't scored since, you know, game 1, and we're almost halfway in here to game number 2, as we look like a DC coming up from Akatsuki. Not really what they want, because they play on that shot's just under the player. He's back in time. Oh, that goes wide. He's just fumbling around to that. It's very unfortunate for Akatsuki. They get a goal, and Destiny takes it right back from them as the DC coming out. Still could have maybe rotated into that a little bit better. Kind of looks a little awkward. Can't really limit too much though. Just unfortunate overall.
Yeah, it really is. You know, and again, you never know what happened. Was it a disconnection? Was it, you know, controller unplugged? What really happened? The world may never know, but when you get that momentum and all of a sudden it just gets taken right away by a mechanical failure, and it's just, there's nothing we can do about it, and really there's nothing they can do about it as well. Looks like he's still having a little bit of issues, but seems to be back on it, back all right. And if Akatsuki can get goal number 2 here relatively quickly, they still should be all right. As this one, Gamer off the back wall gets the pass out, challenged by Goosey, gets it over to Roy, starting the transitional play, ends up upside down. It just slides with that turtle. And again, I don't think that was a disconnect. I think that was a and you know, a little bit of Ricky Bobby there. I'm upside down. This isn't good. Just hands the ball on over, but back and forth action. Shot not from Gamer. We'll get it up to Roy, looking for a redirect, and this is where you're starting to see, you talked about it early, that champ gameplay. They had the mechanics, the wheels are turning, they're going for these touches, just not quite consistent enough to get it every single time, which just causes chaos and havoc.
That was oh my goodness. This is the champ lobby of all time, ladies and gentlemen, as I saw 1, 2, 3, 4 whiffs coming out. That was the 4th one. Touch out, open net, miss, and it just goes out of the player. Into the net as it slowly rolls in. This is the Tier 6 gameplay that you all know and love to see, and may or may not laugh at and say this looks like your plat lobbies instead of diamond this time with your DCs. But, definitely, again, you have to look, who's making more mistakes? At this point, with this gameplay, I don't look at, you know, who's mechanically outplaying, who's like the best player on the field, who's like the first kill or solo playing. It's just who's not missing the ball, you know, like who's not messing up, who's in like an okay enough spot. And it looks like Evolve, it looked like Akatsuki was setting up. It looked like a lot of mistakes coming out from Evolve. They looked kind of shaky on defense, but at the same time, Akatsuki, not only were they not able to capitalize at all from that, but they weren't even able to get a touch that was away from the net. In fact, they touched it towards their net on defense, allowing a goal that really shouldn't have happened to happen. And now they find themselves down 3 here in game number 2 of a best of 7. Their hopes already dry, and you wonder what's going to happen here going into game 3.
Yeah, well, and I don't think that Akatsuki is necessarily making a ton of mistakes per se. They're making a crucial mistake at the worst time that it could possibly happen. I think a lot of it's just a lot of Evolved Quartz playing exceptionally well on the defensive side as well, making those challenges, making those saves, being able to defend the back wall, and make sure that these passes, the slow rollers from the corner across into the box, are easily defended. And, you know, and it's the back wall where a lot of goals can be made in this tier, and doing a great job of just sitting back there and getting a touch. It doesn't have to be the best touch. It doesn't have to be a catch into a dribble and carry it out to mid, past 2 people to set something up. But it's a touch, send it back in the corner, keep it safe. Keep it away from your net. They only allowed 3 shots. They only got 5, Evolve only got 5 shots, but they're only giving up 3, and they're having a much better success rate and conversion rate with that due to their defense and where they are making those challenges and making sure the passes aren't coming out.
And especially you see, I feel like even if you take out the own goals from Akatsuki, Evolve still have at the bare minimum 2, 3 most likely, and it's just, you know, again, good offense is good defense. They're on Akatsuki's half so much. Akatsuki felt like they had one good long offensive push in. Oh my gosh! All right, I do not play in LOS champs. I am a caster. Almost had to put myself into the action to, you know, just give Quartz an even bigger lead, but yeah, it just looks like Akatsuki just kind of not really you can't really pin any individual player for their mistakes. Like, as a team, they're whiffing. As a team, they're own goaling. As a team, they're just not. Like I said, they had one good time, one good spot where they had a solid half minute on Quartz's defensive line, but they've only got 1 shot off of it. They're not converting. Their shots are slow. They're wide. There's no one to follow them up. Versus Quartz, all it seems like is it takes 1 offensive push and it's around the entire defense. As I say, Akatsuki, though, proving me wrong, as all they need to do is take 1 shot at the net.
Yeah, nice job there by Daisuke to go for that bump. Didn't have to get it, just throw a defender off the spot, and Danktree going low with it, expecting the challenge to be high, and just keeping that ball as a worm burner, low and slow on a buy. Ends up working, it gets the first goal of the game and gives themselves their first lead of the game. And again, I think that's what a lot of it is going to kick a goose. He doesn't have any goose. I think a lot of that is going to bode well for the confidence moving forward. If they give up a couple of goals here quick, it's going to quickly demoralize once again. But getting that first goal, getting the lead, knowing that they're able to do it, they're able to play with this evolved Quartz team, get a buy their defense, and just collectively have that exhale of, all right, we're good. It's only 2 games. We're still not even on match point yet. We're fine. Let's get this game back. Let's get back into the series and see what happens from then on.
I feel like, though, if you are Quartz, you don't want this. You don't want the series to get within a 1-game series. You want to take it to match point. This is such a crucial turning point in the series because if Evolve win, reverse sweeps happen, but with so much momentum on their side, it seems like it's not going to be possible. As they put another one in and they tie this game up, Akatsuki not able to hold on the lead for too long.
Yeah, just an awkward bounce, and we've seen that in both series now, where just a slight touch off the wall makes it incredibly awkward. Not able to read it, it bounces straight up, and the offense, with their little bit of more space, being able to see where that ball's going, has the read, gets the shot, gets it on point, and Evolve Quartz tie it up as the demos are just all over the pitch now. So that one's going to be challenged down into the corner. Daisuke with a nice pass out towards mid. No one there from Akatsuki to be able to follow it up immediately. Gamer does get it off the back wall. And now we got some Globetrotter action going, and that's going to be Daisuke to finish it off. Nicely done. Again, that's what I was talking about. The backboard defense from Evolve Quartz had been there the first 2 games. That is back-to-back passes off the back wall. The Daisuke was able to finish it off and get themselves a 1-goal lead once again.
And you just see Akatsuki, it feels like their conversion rate's going up a lot. 2 shots, 2 goals, 100% accuracy actually coming here on their offense. And Evolve's defense is not looking like what it used to be. You were talking about how their defensive line looks so solid, and now it's kind of looks like it's falling apart. As Akatsuki's is looking like it's holding stronger here. Evolve with 4 shots, but only 1 goal to show for it. Right now, what usually in Rocket League is I see who has the better offense, who's on the who's on the other team's half more often, who's in control of the boost, etc., etc. Right now, it's who has a better defense, who's making the saves, who's not making those big defensive mistakes that leads to a goal.
Yeah, as we see taking it into the corner. We see just the slowdown, a little bit of pace play going on, not just booming the ball down, making sure they keep it close, making sure they're finding and having purpose with the touches. I think it's the biggest thing here.
That's a beautiful solo play.
Go is going to get the read on that one. You said nicely done by Roy to get it by 2 members and Goat there to follow it up on top of it. No one home and Evolve Quartz. Bring it back.
Roy with the beat on the defender in the corner, saving them from a shot, and then transitioning and beating their other defender. Except he wasn't the one defending that time. He was on offense. That transition game was beautiful. That is a very fortunate bump in the hands of Quartz. If that defender doesn't get that touch on the attacker there, that is a definite goal for Akatsuki, and they take the lead back. But with just under 2 minutes here, it looks like Evolve are still staying in this. Akatsuki are bringing more to the table. I just thought Roy was about to just pull off his own version of a... What do we call it around here again? A Musa.
A Musa.
He was, looks like he was about to absolutely slot that one into his net. Puts it wide. As he starts to get set up, that's a beautiful pass mid-pop over his own teammate. Does get to eventually someone, though. Goes out to the corner, goes over Roy. Zin's able to get there, though. As it looks like... Oh my goodness, what a save! I thought that was in. I was about to say it looks like Quartz are finally kind of getting their momentum back here. But now more than ever, they look poised to take this game, even if it is an OT.
Yeah, we got a minute left here. See how it does play out as Gengusi able to get that one past the first with the 50, and Roy again with the finish here. Just a huge challenge at mid, and look, it's a 3v1. No one able to get back. It's just a beautiful slot there by Roy to get it by the solo player and on in.
Wasn't it Roy that also did the 1v2 solo play across the field as well? This guy This guy is cooking. They were down, and as they say, don't put an animal back into the corner because that's when they get the most fierce. And Roy, definitely an example of that. His team down by 2 goals, and he himself has scored 2, pretty much all by himself here, carrying his team, being the man for this Quartz offense and defense as well. Just to mention, those were transition goals. Those weren't from a setup. Those are from a pass. He did everything for this team, and it is definitely the difference maker here in Game 3. And if you're Akatsuki, you might need to step up from one of your own players too. If Roy can do it, well then you think anyone else could, but just Akatsuki need to find an answer here, or at least start finding a way to the answer in the first place, as it feels like they had a really good start to this game, but they went a solid 3 minutes without even getting a shot off, I feel like, on the Evolve's end. You had that one demo play that got Miracle saved, but other than that last push at the end, it felt like the mid-game and even the end game for them was just kind of dry.
Yeah, and you know, it was a much closer game. And again, that first goal, getting that on in, breaking the ice, being able to really set the tone of the game and allow themselves to get into it was huge. But Evolve Quartz, the team plays, that was the biggest key. You see all 3 of their goals were assisted. Roy not only converting on 2 of those, but was also, as you mentioned, the 1v2, getting it by 2 members off of that back wall and being able to set up his teammate was a huge catalyst on the offensive side to push Evolve Quartz into this 3-0 and, you know, putting themselves on match point. We'll see how it goes here in game number 4, and it's what I was talking about. It's do or die situation at this point. It is time to throw all caution to the wind. It is just all balls to the walls. Let's see what happens.
Definitely, and Quartz coming out here strong with the 2-man fork push. Goosey puts it back middle for the third for the shot. It goes high. Nameplate with the save, but it's not quite enough as all 3 members of Quartz are camped up. There was more Quartz members here on this defense than there was Akatsuki members. That was 2-1. Akatsuki were nowhere in sight on the defensive line. That is ridiculous.
Yeah, that beautifully done to be able to set it up, and it's a fantastic save. You cannot take anything away from that save. It was just unfortunate with the fact that it was a 3v1, and that ball was going to find its way in unless there was a catastrophic failure. And you know, if it was Cookie's playing, it probably would have gone high. But It's not, and therefore found its way on in. And that one somehow is defended again. Evolve Quartz, they're just finding a way on defense. When it looks dire, it looks like it's going to find its way in. Somehow, some way, a player fights through the fire and on flames, through the smoke, and gets the save.
Definitely will agree when it comes to scrambles. You see, for whatever reason, Evolve seem to be coming out. That might be the team play. That might just be because, again, going back to last time, they are simply just better. They're more used to the awkward scenarios. They're more consistent. Just kind of everything adding up. And from what it looks like, it's not like Akatsuki can't put up a fight. They just haven't put up a good enough of one yet. I want to see them at least try to take one here because it feels like that game 3 should have been theirs. But Evolve kind of just wanted it more. They fought more, especially Roy just doing pretty much all the offense himself, getting it past all 3 Akatsuki members. But Akatsuki now, I feel like they're a lot more even. They're doing their own threatening attacks. They're putting up their own threatening fights. They're having to make Evolve respect them more, and I feel like that mental, at least, shift will help them at least scrape by a game here.
Yeah, they're going to need something. I don't want to say it's going to be a miracle because they've definitely played with this Evolve Quartz team. They've go to the next court. They've been ahead, but they just need to be able to find a way to finish. As a nice pass down by Dice Guy, not being able by Dank Trees to find that shot as a defender there. But that backboard is the key. If they're able to throw the ball on the backboard and then not be defended, be it they go for a bump, they're getting the scramble going on Evolve Court and just open that up. They have been very successful in making those shots and open up the net to at least give themselves that opportunity. But if it's just these slow passes off the corner like we see there, those are easily defended. Evolve Quartz has been on top of every single one of them here. A nice pass off that back wall, but nicely done, being able to quickly get up to it and not play an awkward position. Demo transition back the other way. Roy off the back wall, gets the pump, opens the net, and Giga Goosey finds the slot to go up 2-0.
That bump was absolutely crucial. That Daisakai was the only player that could have really made a defensive touch, and he got absolutely slammed to no man's land there, opening up a huge window for Evolve, and this time they capitalize off of it. I wonder how that feels for Akatsuki here. That bumps are they are a part of the game in Rocket League, but they are super infuriating. Not only are they a viable strategy mechanically wise, you're taking a player off the field, you're letting your team open up more, but mentally as well. Getting bumped out of an easy save is got to be one of the most infuriating things you could possibly ever feel in this game.
Yeah, we'll see in this last 90 seconds, Akatsuki is able to bring it back. Dank Trees does get a touch towards the box, but Sync Goat will get it away for the time being. Challenges happening at midfield. Both teams fighting for that boost. And a couple of 50s. A pass down. Roy, I thought he was going to get a crazy redirect there and send it on in. He is always looking for the back of the net and looking for those plays on the offensive side. As Giga Goosey and Goat just continually to set it up, continue to be real. I don't want to say that they're setting up Roy just in particular, but it just seems to be working out that way as Roy is on fire here in the series. Final 60 seconds. Again, this do or die, best of 7. Akatsuki needing this game, but Giga Goosey with a huge clear. Dice Guy able to get into the corner. A nice little give and go pass. It goes.
Oh no.
High. Oh, that is he with a beautiful team play.
They're not done yet though.
Oh, thank you.
I was about to say, if Asuki's season ended on that note, there's only so much empathy I can feel towards that situation without me having to be in it. But they do find one here. They are not done. You wonder if the extra 10 seconds they took to find a goal, though, might play an effect here as they try to tie this one up with 30 seconds left. Immediate shot. That's not what you need. Oh, no. Equally as bad as an end of a note to end it on is this. That is just... You're playing aggressive, you need a goal, you push up too far, the ball rolls past you.
It can happen right back though. It can
can.
easily happen right back. Oh, no one was there. Giga Goosey able to get it out. Dangtrees with the 50. We're coming down to the final 15 seconds. Akatsuki needing a goal here in a hurry to at least give themselves an opportunity, as we see Evolve Quartz just booming the ball down, keeping it away, a double commit underneath, the ball bouncing in front of the net. No one able to get it, but it does not matter, as Evolve Quartz is going to be able to come in. They are going to take game number 4 and get the clean sweep on through, moving themselves into the next round of playoffs, knocking out the number 6 seed Akatsuki here on this Tuesday night.
Akatsuki just looked like they could never really put everything together at the same time. They had that one standout game where they made it close, but even then, all their goals were kind of in the beginning. They weren't able to close it out. Just kind of unfortunate. I feel like they left a lot on the table there, as I feel like that game 3 was how we kind of expected them to play throughout the entire series, kind of at least making it close, kind of putting up a decent fight. But a lot of what I saw from Quartz is there was just everyone on their team was in a good spot. Like, if 2 of their players whiffed, they had one back and they was ready to make a touch, and he actually made the touch. And, you know, if it did go upfield, they had someone that was in a good second man spot that could follow up what first man did. I just feel like they were in positions that allowed them to, when it kind of got scrambly, at least be in a spot to where they could play more outcomes than where Akatsuki kind of would only rely on one thing to happen. Sometimes I saw 2 people push up, I saw a player miss, and then everyone kind of froze and was awkward. It was just kind of just Quartz playing through the chaos and coming out on top.
And we do have with us the victorious Evolved Quartz player, Evolve Goosey, coming in with us. And again, congratulations on that victory, being able to get the clean sweep here. And yeah, I got a question though at the beginning. Now we had a little bit of delay. We were waiting on a download. Might have been coming in a little cold. Is that typical for you guys, or is it just, you know, listen, it is what it is. We got to go.
It is what it is. You know, we got to go. You know, we didn't expect that one to take that long, but we knew that game was important to us because last week, if we were to lose our game, we wouldn't have made playoffs. So we just had to stay locked. We had to stay locked in for this game, and it didn't matter. Just, you know, get it done.
Now, you guys were able to get that clean sweep over Akatsuki here. It looked like a lot of that style of play was Roy setting things up. Oh, apparently my cam froze. I'm gonna blame cookies. But a lot of it was Roy setting things up, both to you guys as well as, you know, Roy being able to finish it off. Is that the typical play of you guys, or is that just if Roy was feeling it?
Yeah, no, we let Roy be first man and do his thing. You know, he's a very talented player, and so, you know, he'll just set us up and we execute, or, you know, he'll do a solo play. You know, just it's a team game. You gotta play with each other and make it happen.
I have a question. How was it coming back in that game? Were you guys worried going down 2-0 right away, or did you was there kind of some mental kind of degradation right away, or did you guys kind of just like brush it aside and just keep playing your game?
We kind of brushed it aside, but, you know, in the back of my mind, I was like, you know, so the last time we played these guys, actually, we were reverse swept, so I was very scared of that happening. So when they got up by 2, I was like, oh crap, is this gonna happen? Are we gonna get reverse swept again? But it didn't, and close the deal.
Right.
Now, moving forward, you said you're gonna let Roy be Roy, and just let Roy do Roy things, but being able to go into the playoffs and see who your next matchup is going to be compared to the Swiss style format that we have in the regular season, is it going to be a little bit of scouting action, or is it just, listen, this is what got us here, this is how we play, let's just go execute once again?
Nah, the only thing on our mind is execute, make it to the end. We feel like we can make it like a top 4 finish, and that's our goal. So.
Well, or you got anything else for him?
I do not.
Awesome. Well, hey, appreciate the time, Goosey. Before you go, the floor is yours. Any shout outs or anything you want to give while you're here with us?
Yeah, I just want to say thanks for running the league, guys. It's a fun thing to do every week, and I appreciate all y'all's hard work and time making this happen.
Awesome. Well, we appreciate you being here playing. And again, congratulations on the victory. You can head on out, enjoy it with your team, and we look forward to seeing how you guys do next week.
All right, man. See you next time.
See ya.
And that was Goosey from the victorious Evolve Quartz squad, being able to get that 4-0. And again, 3v3 is a little bit different than 2v2, but we see how volatile it can be. And I'm wondering what changes, if any, they make going into next week. But that is going to do it for this match. We still, ladies and gentlemen, have one more match for this night. It is going to be happening at the top of the hour at 10 o'clock Eastern here in about 13 minutes. That is going to be another 2v2 East Tier 3 match of Renewal Storm, the number 4 seed versus the number 5 seed. Yeah, no problem. A couple squads that we have seen many a time here on this stream. We get to see them both together one last time in a rematch. See how that one plays out here in about 13 minutes. So feel free, go grab yourself another drink, grab some snacks, and when we come back, final match of the night here in LOS Champs playoff action to come.